Remember one time, this was probably 4 or 5 years ago, where I had driven up and spent some time with Sam, and honestly, I cried almost the entire way home. Sometimes we just need to cry, and we need to acknowledge that what we're experiencing with the person that we love is sad, and there's grief involved, and I always felt better when I allowed myself to grieve, when I allowed myself to cry. Sometimes I had to choose kind of appropriate places, to pull over in a car and just boo-hoo and cry really ugly, the ugly cry. But there were plenty of tears along the way. There were plenty of ugly cries along the way. There were plenty of dropping to my knees along the way. And every time I cried, I felt better. Every time I dropped to my knees and I rose, I felt better. Every time I gave myself the gift of grief, I felt better on the other side of it. And so going through this experience, witnessing the suffering of someone you love that's dealing with substance use disorder is just part of the journey. And I'm going to strongly encourage you to give yourself the gift of sadness, to give yourself the gift of grief, to give yourself the gift of the ugly cry. Whatever you need to feel, you have permission. Please feel instead of stuffing. Because if you just stuff and try to be strong and tough and all of those things, it's just an act. And unfortunately, those feelings and emotions go someplace in our body and they can make us sick. And so I'd much rather allow that energy to move through me and beyond me and out into the world instead of trying to hold it in, trying to appear to be strong and tough. And I got this, I'm fine, which at moments, honestly, would have been a lie. And so I'm giving each one of you permission to be truthful with yourself and take care of yourself because self care can actually be as simple as allowing yourself to cry, allowing yourself to feel, allowing yourself the release of those heavy, heavy emotions. And for those of you who are really angry at your loved one, here's what I will share with you. I had moments of anger, and I also was very aware that that anger, underneath that anger, was deep, deep sadness, deep, deep grief. And I would go and believe that being angry was never going to solve this for him or for me. And so I would pause and I would breathe and then I would cry. And what we know about anger is that 3 minutes of anger, 5 minutes of anger can lead to 3 hours of your immune system being suppressed. Again, there are consequences for not letting your emotions flow. And I'm not giving you permission to get totally angry about this. I'm giving you permission to drop through the anger and get to the sadness and get to the grief and allow that to flow out of you. And also understand that it's exhausting. So give yourself permission to rest. Give yourself permission to be tired. Give yourself permission to take a nap. Loving courageously, going through the grief and the sadness is exhausting. And that's the truth. So again, you have permission. Fortunately, I had permission. and I left a lot of Kleenex along the way. So please feel your emotions, drop to sadness out of anger, do the ugly cry in your car, in your pillow, wherever you need to do it. You'll feel better on the other side.